In today's class, we will discuss about Python variables and comments. So, what are Python variables? So these are the containers which stores the data, any type of data. So data may be integer, string, number. And how to define a variable? How to define a variable? So just you simply need to mention the variable name. That's it, and equal to the value, whatever the value you want to assign. So there is no need to mention integer, string. Python is very intelligent. It understands everything by itself. We have seen how to create the variables. What are the naming conventions? So number one, variable must not start with a number. Must not start with a number. Variable name actually. So variable name must not start with a number. Second thing, a variable can contain alphanumeric characters. Alphanumeric means where alphabets and numeric numbers are there, characters plus underscore as special character only. Variables are case sensitive. So what are the types of variables that we will discuss? Means notation, we can say notation. Three notations are there. One is camel case notation, Pascal notation, snake notation. Okay. So what does camel case means? So in camel case notation, except first word, capital, starts with capital. What does that mean? So if I mention here one word, so let's say my new data. So this is a camel notation. Camel is down to the in the starting of the itself. Later it has what is Pascal notation? So each word is separated. Each word starts with capital letter. Each word starts with capital letter. What is the example? So same my new data. What is snake? Each word is separated by what we call underscore. So I will mention something. If I need to mention, then I will say my new data. These are the various notations of variables. How to assign the values to multiple variables? We can say multiple variables. So you can simply mention, very easy. Just mention like suppose you have three friends, Rahul, Rohan, Mohan. Okay. Equal to, then you can simply mention, let's say they have 10, 20, 30. These are some cars and all, anything can be. Okay. So this is very simple assignation for this one. You will not find this facility anywhere. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the Python file here. So I will choose new file. So if I simply mention Rahul, Rohan, Mohan, then 10, 20, 30, just simply print Rahul. You can print others as well. Like, so you will find like every variable has their own values. So if I run it, yeah, that's the beauty of Python. What else you can do? Suppose there is one number. School data is there. School data. So Rahul also studied in the same school. Rohan also studied in the same school. And Mohan also studies in the same school. So the school name is DPS. So same you can print here. So these are everyone. So if I run it, everybody is a part of DPS school. Most important part is you can unpack the data as well. Unpack the data in Python. But list is a collection, I have told you if you remember. So it is mentioned in square brackets. So what is the use of list? So suppose this one list name is numbers, and it contains numbers like 20, 40. So this is a list, and you have to assign the values to the variables as well. So where you have 4 variables, A, B, C, D. So same you can do by the help of list as well. So you just need to mention numbers here. If you see the values of A, B, C, you will find. So I will correct it. So if I run it, every variable has their own value. So basically what we have done here, we have unpacked this data type into the variables. So output variable. So output variable means if we want output from Python data types and all, then we will use in the output variables. So suppose I have already given you the example yesterday. So let's say we have one keyword, or you say enter a phrase, your phrase, whatever the variable name you mentioned, always try to mention good variable names. It shows your programming skills as well. You will be surprised to know a good programmer takes a long time to define or decide the name of the variable. The variable name should be easy to understand, and it should have proper meaning as well. Okay. So try to do that one. So I'm just mentioning here, I enter your phrase or your means we can say name as well. So if you are saying name, you can mention the name. So just simply mention hello. If I run it, it will ask me what is your name. I say Yash, so it will say hello Yash. If I copy this one again, so I can run this program without comma. I can mention plus here, but there is some drawback of plus. It will show hello Yash, but it does not look like good, right? Reason, plus works only with string. Plus works only with string. Okay, it means you can add plus only with string only. Okay, so plus works only with string, but it requires explicitly space explicitly. Explicitly means we need to manually define the space. So if you see here, there was no space mentioned, so we manually need to mention either mention space here, else do one thing, add one more plus or mention space here, then it will work. And the other way is this one. It will give the same output because we have used space explicitly here. Most important part, you can concatenate two string. Concatenate means join two strings by the help of plus operator. So how it works? So let's say you have two values. One is like say name one, or we can say phrase one or str1 string one. So string one is my database, and then str2 you are having is corrupt. See you double are corrupted. There are two ways. Either you can just simply print str1 plus str2, so it will show you the message my database is corrupted. So the thing I told you earlier, if you remember, if you use in that way, you need to mention the space explicitly. Otherwise, what you can do, you can mention in that way, so it will show the exact output. Another way, what you can do, you can use str3 is equal to str1 plus str2, but this time it will show the correct results too. Do you want to see str3? Still, it is not showing. So always remember, I have shown you two methods for string concatenation. One is the plus method, another is the comma method. However, plus method requires explicit space or additional space. Okay. If you mention in that way, comma, and then run it, it is showing this in terms of what we say tuple. If you want to just, do you know how to check the type of the variable? How to check the type of variable? Type of variable means what type of data variable contains. So let's go to here. So we have one variable. Let's print name. So name contains Rahul. I want to see the type of this one. So it should be of string type. So it will mention str here. If I want to see the type of str3, then what it will be? Tuple. Why tuple? Because if we need to mention the string in that way, the best way is either use this. But this is also not correct. Then this will become string, but this will be the string like this. If I again run this program, this one, you will see it is string. You cannot join string and numbers. Concatenate string and numbers. What does that mean? Suppose you have str4 is equal to Python. Then you have num1 is equal to 10. And if you say str5, and if you print str5, it will give you error. And not only concatenate string, not integer. But if you mention this like this, okay, so now it is a string, you will get the result. If you want the type of this one type one, then you will find it is a string because it is inclusion. You have opened very good bar. Bar means resto bar and all. So your bar name, your bar name is Harish bar. Okay, this one. If you want to print this in single quote, it will not work. Why? Dimension is Harish, and then I need to use apostrophe s, and it is automatically outside of this. If I again use another one, then it is not a correct syntax. I will get error. If I run it, you forgot to mention a comma, right? Absolutely correct. It is right. But what is the other way then? How we can add the comma then? I will use double quotes here and then. Okay, so I was discussing about variables. So next is global variables. So just I want to give you one example. So suppose my str6 is there. str6 is SQL database, SQL DB. Okay, and you have one program. So you have one function. One function name is database. You are just mentioning messages here. Other ways, you can mention str1, comma str2, but second one is not string concatenation of actually, and comma str6, and then again you are calling this function name is database. So if you run this program, this will work absolutely fine. If you use this variable here, so let me mention it here within the, I will take this example. So we have str6 as a global variable. So but what I do here, I'll mention str6 here as well. But this time it is having different value. It is having value as MySQL. So let's see MySQL. If you see here, I am just closing this one. Okay, this one. So I want to print. I have learned comma str6. Although it will have value inside stores, it will have stored value, so I will have to delete it. So means delete means we want to unassign the value. Why I'm mentioning this one? Because it has already stored in the previous one. Del means delete. So whatever is green, that is predefined. So if you see print is predefined, def is predefined. So if you see here, if I run this one, this will give me the error. Why it is giving as defined? So if I let me delete this one now. If I run it, I comment this one as well. It will give error. str6 is not defined because scope of str6 is limited to within function only. You can make this local as a global as well. How to make local as global? So you will use global, this keyword, global keyword. So what I will do, I will mention here global. So if you run this program, then it will be executed without any issue. Something is still missing. So let me see what you will get. 2 output now. I learned MySQL. I learned MySQL. It is a global variable, but if you don't mention global keyword, even let me comment this one. So if I run this one, body will be executed because it will be executed locally, but for this one, it will give error. Let me try this one. I will have to delete again, otherwise it will store the data from previous one. So if I run this program again, then it will give error. str6 is not defined. So let's discuss about Python comments. What are the user comment? So if somebody is new and wants to understand the code, and in the comments you can mention whatever that block of code will do, and it makes the program more readable as well. Okay. How to create the comment? How to create the comment? So you can simply mention hash if it is single line comments. Otherwise, you can use 1, 2, 3, triple double quotes or triple single quotes. Both will work. Suppose you mention this program. Let me mention this program will execute. So if I run it, it will show just hello Python. Thank you very much. See you soon. Please like and subscribe my channel. Bye all.